Hello everyone, welcome to the channel for everything Arsenal and everything football. Thanks for being here. I hope you're all doing well and welcome to the match preview for Arsenal's final Premier League game of the season against Watford. Let's be honest, this has been a very terrible season for us, probably the worst season for most of us as fans, one of the worst definitely in the Premier League history for us. To be honest, I just can't wait for it to end. On Monday, the transfer window is opening. That is what I'm looking forward to. And the rest of the summer, the rest of August, and a bit of September before the Premier League starts on September 12th. That is what I'm looking forward to. This has been a terrible season. The highest we can finish is 8th, and we can't drop below 10th. So, yeah, for us, we have nothing much to play for. But for Watford, though, they have a lot to play for. They're 18th now. They just got overtaken by Aston Villa when they beat us in midweek. So Watford definitely need at least a draw and hope Aston Villa lose their game against West Ham. Or if Aston Villa win, they also hope to win their game against Arsenal. So yeah, for us, nothing to play for. For them, a lot to play for. So yeah, it is a big game for them, but not really for us. For us, maybe just a momentum builder. For them, it is saving their Premier League status. So in this video, I'm going to be taking a look at the recent history between the two teams, the early fixture this season, what lineup was fielded in that game at Vicarage Road, and at the end, I'm obviously going to take a look at what my lineup would be for the game, and finally, the prediction for the game. So let's just get straight into it. So the two teams haven't really met a lot of times in history, just the 31 games. Arsenal have won 17, Watford have won 12, and only 2 games have been drawn. So this is really different from like Tottenham versus Arsenal or Arsenal versus Liverpool, the games that had very, very many draws. We've played them 6 times at the Emirates Stadium, including the 2016 FA Cup, where they beat us in the quarter-final. Remember, we won the 2014 FA Cup, the 2015 FA Cup, and the 2017 FA Cup. But in the 2016 one, we lost in the quarter-final. I'm pretty sure if we won that game, and they were actually playing us at home and they beat us, if we actually won that game, I think we'd have played Crystal Palace in the semi-final and Man U in the final. So there's you can actually say that you maybe would have won 4 FA Cups in a row if it wasn't for Watford. But yeah, Arsenal have won 4 games at the Emirates, and Watford have won twice, including the FA Cup, as I've said, in 2016. They also beat us in 2017. Since they beat us 2-1 at Vicarage Road in 2017, we have won 3 and drawn 1. So they haven't beaten us in almost 3 years. So not a lot of recent history, but to be fair, they've actually gotten the better of us a couple of times, and that is why you've had people like Troy Deeney saying it's easy to play against Arsenal and stuff like that. Of course, it can come back to bite him as they're almost getting relegated. We can actually be the team that confirms their relegation. So yeah, let me know in the comment section. Would you want Watford to be relegated? Do you want Aston Villa to be relegated? Let me know in the comment section. Let me now take a look at the earlier meeting this season that was played on 15th of September last year. Emery was still manager. That was the time we were losing lead after lead after lead and conceding so many shots. We drew the game 2-2. We actually had a 2-0 lead. Aubameyang scored twice on that day, and then Cleverley scored. He got them one back. Got one back for them. Sorry, it was our mistake, obviously. And Pereyra scored an 81st minute penalty for them. Another mistake from us. Our lineup on that day. Let me put it on screen right now. Leno was in goal. He actually got booked. Back 4 of Niall, Socrates, Lewis, and Kolasinac. Kolasinac also got booked. Shaq was in the middle with Guendouzi, and then ahead of them, Sabas was playing from the left, Ozil as the number 10, and Pepe on the right, and then we had Aubameyang up front. I think Lacazette was injured. On the bench, he had Martinelli, Nelson, Pereyra, Willock, Saka, Chambers, and Martinez in goal. On the bench, sorry. Leno's the one in goal on that day. Guendouzi also got booked in that game. Match stats from that day. They had 30 shots. They had 30 shots to Arsenal's 7. That is where people like literally started turning on Emery. Like, that was unacceptable. 30 shots to Arsenal 7. We scored twice in the first half and never threatened them again. So it was a poor game. They had 10 on target, 5 for us. They dominated possession, 52%, 48 for us. They had 3 yellow cards. We also had 3 yellow cards, and they had 7 corners, and we only had 1. So basically, it was not a good day for us. We weren't attacking at all. That was the first draw in 22 meetings, the first draw since 1984. That was the first time Arsenal failed to win a Premier League game in which there were at least 2 goals up since April 2016, when we threw away a 2-0 lead and ended up drawing 3-3 with West Ham at their old ground, Upton Park. And it was also the first time Watford had avoided a defeat after being 2 goals down since January of 2018, where they came back from 2-0 down to draw 2-2 with Southampton. Another start from the game, Tom Cleverley scored his first home league goal for Watford since October 2017, which also came against Arsenal 701 days later. So the only 2 goals he had scored at Vicarage Road were against Arsenal. Typical Arsenal. Now let me take a look at the 2018-2019 season. The last season we played them at Vicarage Road, we won 1-0. Aubameyang scored. Troy Deeney was sent off on that day for a foul on Pereyra. It was a nasty kind of looking foul. It was actually the linesman who gave it. Pereyra wasn't there that time. In the home game last season, early on in Emery's tenure, Cathcart scored an own goal in the 81st minute, and Ozil scored for us in the 83rd minute. Lacazette with the assist. Wow, I can't talk today. You can actually say like assist, yeah? It makes sense. We had to be very patient in that game, very, very patient. Our goals came late on. It was the first time we won 7 straight games in all competitions since October of 2016. Rob Holding was the man of the match. Leno became the 8th German player to play for Arsenal in the Premier League. That was his debut. Kilman for Czech. Czech got injured. Only Man City have had more Germans playing for them in the Premier League. And at that time, we had scored 10 goals in the second half. That was the joint highest with Manchester City at that time. So a lot of records last season. At least we did score 3 goals against them last season. They never scored against us. We completed the double against them. Let's go to the previous season before that. We beat them 3-0 at our place. Mustafi scored, Aubameyang scored, and Mkhitaryan scored. We remember that game. Troy Deeney missed a penalty. Czech actually kept, I think he kept his 200th clean sheet in that day. On that day. In the away game that season, Watford beat us 2-1, and that is the famous day where Deeney said Arsenal have no cojones. They're not playing well. You can always fancy yourself against them. They're not strong enough. Their mentality is not strong enough. And he was actually right. They beat us 2-1. They scored late goals against us, but the players were in that game. Very few will play in this game. Lacazette was in that game, probably will play. Kolasinac will probably play. Xhaka, Bellerin, Ozil, and Holding. Those are the only players who are in that game and would be right now. Those players Dini was talking about are the likes of Mertesacker, Koscielny, Nacho Monreal, Welbeck, who's now his teammate, El Neni, Wobby. They won a penalty. Richarlison, the Everton player, was at Watford at that time, and he won a penalty for them. It was a dive for me. I still remember that. It was a dive. So, yeah, that's the recent history between the two teams. Not much, as I've said, but they've beaten us a couple of times. Also in the FA Cup, as I've said, in the league a couple of times too, at their place and at our place. So we never really dominate this fixture, but hopefully we can end our Premier League season with a win. We always have something to play for in the final days, but this season, not really much. So yeah. Now let me get into what my lineup would be for the game. So I don't think anyone can predict what Attack will do this weekend. Will he go for the stronger players to gain momentum for the final next week, or will he just rest them completely? The first game we played them this season, we had Leno, Niles, Socrates, Luis, Kolasinac. From that defense, I might probably see maybe 3 of them playing. In midfield, Guendouzi, of course, is not available. But actually, Arteta said that Guendouzi and Ozil are available. So I'm not sure if he's going to include them in this game. We'll just wait to see. My lineup would be, let me put it on screen right now. I'd probably put Matt Messi in goal. He's leaving Arsenal at the end of the season, so I'd give him the final game. We have Rest Martinez for the Chelsea game. At the back, I'd have Cedric on the right, Socrates, Holding, and Kolasinac on the left. I'd play a back four in this game. Holding Socrates because Mustafi is injured. I need Luis to rest for this game. I need him fresh for the Chelsea game. He has a point to prove. In the middle, I'd actually go for Pereyra and Xhaka. Pereyra was very poor against Aston Villa, and Xhaka looked very tired when he came on in the second half, but I'd go with the two of them. It has been long since they played together. And then in front of them, I'd go with our youngsters. Nelson on the right, Saka on the left, Willock in behind Nketiah. I know it is a very young team, but I really don't need our players injured. On the bench, I'd have Martinez, Luis, Zach Medley, who I want to appear in this game, maybe in the second half, Bellerin, Niles, Matt Smith, the youngster, Pepe, Lacazette, and Aubameyang. Addressed Kieran Tierney and Dani Ceballos completely for this game. Keep them fresh for the next game, a really important final. If we don't win that game, no Europe football for us next season, and no trophy. I know if we win a trophy, it will be very good for Arteta, so we really need to win it. Let me run through the squad again. Matt Messi, Cedric, Socrates, Holding, and Kolasinac. Pereyra, Xhaka, Nelson, Willock, Saka, and Nketiah. On the bench, Martinez, Luis, Medley, Bellerin, Niles, Matthew Smith, Pepe, Lacazette, and Aubameyang. So that is my squad. My prediction would be... I actually do fancy Watford to get something from this game. So I'll go for Arsenal 1 and Watford 1, just because I don't think we'll give our all in this game. So 1-1 for me. Let me know in the comment section what your starting lineup would be. Would you rest Aubameyang? Would you rest Pepe? Would you rest Kieran Tierney? Would you start Martinez? Would you give the youngsters a chance, or would you just go with the strongest team? And of course, your prediction for the game. Yeah, that's it. This is the final Premier League game of the season. I hope next season is better. Thanks for always watching my channel. I started this channel around after Emery actually got sacked, so it has been a very, very good journey so far. I can't wait for next season. Thanks for watching again. Keep staying safe, and I'll talk to you later.